Ah, okay, cool.
That's going to be good.
All right.
Okay, we're good. Let's go.
It won't be weird if I read, right?
Yes.
It won't be weird if I read all this, right? Or would
Of
it?
course, no, it's fine.
Okay.
It's more than fine.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start.
Okay. All right. Can we shut the door then?
Well,
Or wait for
we
this
still
man?
have stragglers.
Okay. Give me 2 minutes then. We'll just
Yeah,
go?
but no, so go.
Okay. Great. She should be ready. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Hi, yeah, I'm just here to introduce you guys to Maureen. I'm sure everybody here knows of her and knows about her. So Maureen has been a hypnotherapist for over 12 years. She's also an NLP trainer, a master guided imagery, and a master in Reiki energy and work. She has authored 10 books and produced 25 CDs. She's also the only hypnotherapist in California to have been a director, an instructor in 2 nationally accredited colleges. Maureen has also co-authored a neuroscience paper through UCLA. She focuses on helping each individual to have a better day today and every day, and she's always looking forward to on how to serve and how to implement her It Only Gets Better philosophy. She's changed my life in many ways. I used to only sleep for 3 hours a day. Now I sleep for 5, almost 6 hours every night. So here we go. Let's introduce you to Maureen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yes. Thank you. That was Rose. She's the director in the Mind Body Center. So welcome, everybody. Good morning. How are you? Good. Welcome to everybody at the audience. We're at the Chopra Center here in La Costa, so sorry for the weather you guys are having, because over here it's gorgeous. So my name is Maureen Pisani. Maureen Irish, Pisani Italian. And most of you are trying to guess where I'm from, because yes, I do have an accent, and no, you're not having a stroke. So let me help you get an idea. You know where Italy in the Mediterranean is, the boot? And you know how south of it there's a little triangle called Sicily? Well, I come from the dot, the island of Malta. So if you look at the maps, you actually see this. The word is bigger than the island. So this is something where if you want to go for the actual history, it's gorgeous. The capital city was built by the Knights of St. John. The archaeology there would make Indiana Jones jealous. It's fantastic. They have Neolithic sites that are older than the pyramids. So spectacular. So today we're here for one purpose and one purpose only, because we want success, right? How many of us want success? Good. And you know success is defined in many different ways. So I want to be able to walk you through a process, and with your permission, I don't believe in the maybe at some point, let's hope. I believe in results today. So are we okay if we get results starting from today? Yes. Good. And if we get results starting from today, are you okay if after I explain everything, we do a group visualization for you to implement everything you've learned? Yes. Good, because there's no better time than right now, right? Good. Do you guys watch The Amazing Grace on TV? Well, it's a TV show, and the guy who created it, Phil Kogan, turned the word now into an acronym, and the acronym means no opportunities wasted. So are we okay if we don't waste any more opportunities? Good, 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 good. So let me give you some pointers here, because I need a base foundation as to why we're here and how we all function. Do I have anybody by the name Jane in here? Okay, so I'm not going to pick on you. Thank you, thank you. Because I always use Jane as the example. So, okay, so so let's pretend. Okay, it's easy. Anybody with Maureen? Okay, good. So let's say Maureen, this other lady, mind-wise she's fine, brain-wise she's fine, but body-wise she has a peptic ulcer that just ruptured. Is she having a good day? No. If body-wise she's fine and mind-wise she's fine, but she has a brain tumor, is she having a good day? No. If brain and body she's fine, but she's riddled with regret, is she having a good day? No. So all three are necessary to be shooting full throttle for us to have a good day. Fair? Yeah. If you walk into a restaurant, into a doctor's office, into a station, into an airport, you know how you can tell who's happy, who's mad, who's sad, who's in love? You can tell all that. They don't talk to us, right? They just give us the vibe. So the vibe comes from here. So we know internally how we feel, but how these are functioning actually kick in and exude and radiate. So we need to be aware of what's going on. So would we be okay if we found out a little bit more what's going on inside? Good. So now here I have this little wheel, and it basically covers all aspects of life. So we have health, spirituality, family and friends, fun, finances, career, and relationships. I want you to take a moment, because as we cover all of them, we're going to be looking internally and adjusting and guiding and almost like assessing how we're doing in life. So if the center is a 0 and the outskirts, the circumference is a 10, and I only want you to think of these numbers, just think of them internally. In health, from a 0 to a 10, where are you? In spirituality, spirituality can cover everything, religion and everything, right? So in spirituality, 0 to 10, where are you? In family, how's your relationship with family members? Now, this is usually the weakest. What's fun? In 0 to 10, because if this is a perfect wheel, sometimes we have a flat tire here. So keep it in mind. In finances, are you where you want to be? And career, are you where you want to be? 0 to 10. Are you almost there? Are you en route? Are you really set? Did you ace it? Are you at an 11? And in relationships, where are you? I want you to take a moment. Think of that wheel. How is it? Because that's what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about why some people have the success and why some don't. Why some people, for some it's really easy. For some they just smooth sailing, right? It's like everything they touch is gold. While for others everything is Mount Everest. And so it really doesn't seem fair, does it? When others have it easy, why shouldn't we? Well, would it be okay if we got to find out how to make it easy? Good. So when it comes to this, I'm going to be bouncing back on this one, but I need you to keep in mind that as you're going through it, your mind's going to be giving you ideas and reasons why, let's say in relationships, you're a 2, not a 10. Let's say in finances, you're a 4, not a 10. Your mind is going to be giving you, and I'm going to explain to you a lot, but I need you to be aware that it's going to be coming back almost like the devil's advocate. Why? Why keeps us in the stuck now, in the stuck story? Why doesn't do it for us? Why keeps us in the quicksand? From this point on, I want you to start asking how. How am I going to get out of this? How am I going to advance? How gives us momentum to change? Why is quicksand? So we don't ask why anymore. Good. So here on the top part is your current timeline. So with a timeline, let's find some nice colors here. So this is birth. And as we go through, we go to the now. And then as we go from now, we go forward into the future, right? So are we all okay with that? So right now I want you to internally, you don't have to point, I want you to think, where's your past? Is it over there? Is it over here? Is it behind you? Where's your past? Think about it. Where's your future? Exactly. So I want you to start becoming aware of things that you take for granted, because everything makes sense. Everything has a purpose. So when it comes to from birth to now, you have milestones. You have things that are and if you go back, and I'll never pick on you guys, so you're safe. But one of the very things that happened to me there, on my 3rd birthday, and I know it because everybody told me and I have memory, my uncle sent me to get a pack of matches, a box of matches from the cabinet. And I was so small I had to go on tiptoes to reach. And as I reached, the box exploded. And I went, oh, look, fire! And I was wearing a nylon dress. So I put the matches here, and the whole thing caught on fire, right? So I remember my dad passing out in the chair over there, my uncle going to take care of him, and mom coming toward me. I have no recollection of pain, only the story is that she covered me in petroleum jelly and wrapped me in a towel. Saved me, by the way. But the funny part is the memories that I have are sideways, because she carried me like this. So my mind is like seeing everything sideways, right? So as I go back to the past, that's the very first memory I have of the incident. Now, that changed things in me, right? So what experiences have you had to actually feel different about certain things? This, by the way, took me years. I was joking with some of the audience here that I am Catholic, so I'm going to be making some cracks here, but just wait. But as a kid, watching the altar boys light the candles, I would break out in a cold sweat. And I didn't associate why at the time, but it took me years to come to the point where I could see a lit match and not freak out. So what experiences have you had in your childhood that are affecting you now? Because from the now, we always look back, and this is our reference point, this is our encyclopedia. How are we functioning? So when it comes to our circle of life here, I want you to be aware, because there are certain things you know you've always wanted but never got. There are certain things that you have as an identity. There are certain things that you want to achieve, but there's a part of you that's going, yeah, no, and that's not me. And we need to find out why, we need to find out how they got there, and we need to find out how to change them. Fair? So how about I tell you a little bit about why I'm here, of all these people? Because I know you know other hypnotherapists. So I'm born and raised on the island of Malta. Beautiful island. Easter time is the best time to go. Summers are so humid, they're worse than Florida. Winters are ridiculously cold. You don't want to go there in winter. However, Easter time is perfect. And back there, I worked as an X-ray technician in the emergency room night shift. So have you ever seen Cold Black, the show? It's fantastic. You walk in at 7:30, and you take care of everything that shows up till 7:30 in the morning. So back in Malta, and my time, they didn't have specialized X-ray techs. So I did everything. I did orthopedic, I did neonatal, I did obstetrics, I did surgeries, cath labs, pacemakers, whatever came in, car crashes, whatever came in, I handled. And I'm the epitome of an immigrant. I wanted to come to America. I wanted to be living in the land of opportunity, and thank you God I'm an American citizen, and probably the most important thing in my life. So I come to this country, I want to be an X-ray tech. I get my CRT license. Then I apply for my AART, but you need to send transcripts to the board. So I had the University of Malta send them the transcripts, meaning I didn't touch them. And they sent me a cold letter stating that I could be in serious trouble for submitting fraudulent paperwork, because according to them, I was inventing countries. Now remember I told you it's a dot? It's 9 by 17 miles. But St. Paul was shipwrecked on the island, so it's actually in the Bible, and trust me, I'm not that powerful. So after that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, there must be a detour. So I knew medical terminology, I knew how to type, so I became a medical historian. I'm typing away at the speed of speech. I know how to engage with people. I was learning Spanish as a side benefit. It was fantastic. I worked for 3 orthopedists, really, really good. Only the arm started hurting. And you know how people get carpal tunnel? Yeah. I didn't get carpal tunnel. I played piano as a kid, so I typed with a flat wrist. I got cubital tunnel in the elbows. Now, I worked for 3 orthopedic surgeons. What do you think they suggested? 10 surgeries later, 5 on each elbow. That's why I'm always in 3/4 sleeves, because till now you thought of me as normal. So there's 1 there. There's 2 here, because they didn't shave off enough bone the first time. 4 and 5, and that's on both arms. So it was a long, drawn-out process, 6 years. And by the way, they did this one first, and then, oh, you're still in pain? Sorry, must have been the wrong spot. Let's try over here. How come you're in pain? Let's try this one. Now, when this one happened, then the nerve was subluxating, so you know how you hit your funny bone and the electric shocks happen? My nerve is sewn up here. So you can hit me here as much as you want, because I won't feel a thing. So I'm doing everything they say, right? Physical therapy, acupuncture, whatever they ask, pills galore. I was taking 24 pills a day. 14 of them were pain meds. I was on Darvocet, Ultram, Celebrex, Paxil, and Neurontin. Max dose on all of them. Do you think I was having a good day? No. pain was never ending. To sleep, I had this contraption with these plastic cuffs and a metal dial, so they would control how open my elbow was, because if it closed all the way during sleep, it would wake me up. The intensity of the pain was that hard. And I never slept more than 40 minutes at a time. So not a good place to be. Then I switched surgeons after the first 6 were done. And when I dared to ask a question to the surgeon, he left me in the cast for 8 weeks. So when they took the cast off, the elbow was frozen. So when you have your ears pierced, you know how you hear the cartilage pop? Well, they popped scar tissue with their thumbs. So let's just say it was painful. We do this whole thing 6 years. I'm jumping through hoops, whatever they say. I lost 80% grip strength on the right, 75 on the left. We come to the end of the line. We come to where they have no more suggestions, no more options, no more anything. Here's what their solution was. 100% disability, Social Security, lifetime supply of medications, and bye-bye. And I was 30. Do you think I came to this country to be on Social Security at 30? Now this is where it becomes interesting, because that's when I got mad, and they couldn't quite understand why I got upset. I'm a hands-on girl. I do everything. And all of a sudden now, holding a toothbrush with my dominant hand was a chore. Try brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. You'll have a nice conversation with your toothbrush. You're like, how am I supposed to hold this again? Imagine losing everything. To hold a cup with both hands was a gamble. So it came to the point where who I used to be didn't exist anymore. There was a time, I am not kidding you, I would introduce myself and say, hi, I'm Maureen and I'm worthless. I literally said that because in my mind, I actually was. I've been earning a living since 15 and a half. To now be on Social Security, have the United States government label me useless? That put me in a really bad place. All my pretend strengths, you know, all the things I used to know I was, poof, gone. Luckily, there's a piece of me that I always call Maureen from Malta. You know, the one who's always the tourist. And remember the show Starsky and Hutch? Well, there was a fair, and they were going to have the car from Starsky and Hutch. So I'm like, I got to go see it. So I go, and on the side, there's a little booth offering free handwriting analysis. Now remember, I'm on Social Security. That's about all I could afford at the time. So I go, I give my little handwriting sample, and she takes it, and she reads me like a book. And I'm like, how'd you do this? And it was like a drug smuggling deal. This tiny petite lady sitting at a table does this. Call them. That's it. No pitch, no hyping the college, nothing. Just call them. Okay, so I called. Go in for an interview. Remember, the arms are shot and I'm Catholic, so I have 2 questions. One, is this against the church? Because I'm not going against the big guy, that's for sure. And 2, can you do this without your arms? So the director looks at me, he goes, no, it's very scientific, and I'm going to tell you in a second why. He goes, but what's this whole thing with your arms? So I tell him, right? And he goes, no, you can snap your fingers, you can. So I can. So I start the program. And I could literally go to the college because there were 2 turns and an 8-mile stretch on a main thoroughfare. I could hold my steering wheel straight. If you go to my car right now, I have something called a suicide knob. I've checked with police. It is legal. But instead of doing all the turns that all of you guys do, I just do one movement because then the elbows do get annoyed. So I start program. But I can't write. My hand would cramp. I'd have to pluck the pen out and then open the finger one at a time. And I went to the director and I'm like, listen, I get this mentally, I'm there, but I'm missing the boat. I'm a note taker. So he looks at me and he goes, you do know we have hypnotherapists here, right? Remember, 24 pills a day. Upstairs is a little foggy. I'm like, yeah. He goes, maybe an appointment. So I walk in, I choose one of the senior teachers because the founder had already died. And this guy is on the verge of flippant. He's sitting with his arm on the back of the chair. He goes, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Have you seen my arms? And he's like, no, talk to me. And he's just getting me to talk and share what happened and why and everything. Then he puts me in the recliner. Remember, I'm used to pain. I'm used to heavy duty pain. So I'm in the recliner in hypnosis. I don't feel anything. I don't feel pain. I don't feel magic. I don't feel tingling. I feel nothing. And then there I'm going, what did I sign up for? This is ridiculous. Only the next morning, from the shoulders to the wrist, pain's gone. So now I'm curious, because now I'm like, something's working here, right? So I go to him the next week. I'm bubbly, I'm excited, I'm ready. I'm like, come on, tell me what you did and how is it? He goes, they're better, aren't they? I'm like, yes, you got to tell me. And he goes, no, surprises are better. And again, right? He gets me talking. He gets me in the chair. He, again, does whatever he does. Again, I feel nothing. And the next morning, no pain. It's gone. Didn't come back. Won't come back. Now, would you like to find out what he did? Yes. I was sort of hoping you'd say that. So this is where I become a 6-year-old, because I like to play with colors. So over here we have, exactly, it looks like an Easter egg. This is what we call the theory of mind. So technically speaking, scientifically speaking, our mind is about 6 inches around our sensations, our perception, so just to keep that in mind. But I'm going to explain to you a lot of what we're going to do here. So let's say, I don't like that, we don't need the black. Let's say we are born as a clean slate, and in the clean slate, we have what we call the primitive mind. The primitive mind is like the motherboard in a brand new computer. It's programmed, not personalized. In the primitive mind, we have 2 fears, the fear of loud noise and falling. And here we also have fight and flight. And you guys know fight and flight is triggered in emergencies. We also have freeze and food. So if we were a prehistoric village and a saber-toothed tiger jumped in, some of us would choose fight, as in attack and make it lunch. Some of us would choose flee, not to be lunch. Some of us would freeze. Remember the movie, Don't Move a Muscle? Jurassic Park. And others would go to the next village to ensure that we have a meal for tomorrow. In today's day and age, if we all witnessed a pileup, a car crash, a horrible thing, right? Some of us would choose fight, go in and help. Some of us would choose flee, as in, I don't want to be a witness, I didn't see nothing. Some of us would freeze, teetering on the sidewalk, you know, like, oh my God, they almost hit me. And some of us would go to the first bakery to get a jelly-filled donut. Hardwired, guys, hardwired. You have no idea how many people come to me with, they just gave me the diagnosis and all I could think of was jelly-filled donuts. And I'm like, okay, that's very normal. So between 0 and 8, we start building a library of knowns. Thousands of experiences that are good, others not so good. This is what we call your unconscious mind. And we function on the premise, that we identify, associate, and respond to everything. Yes?
Age, 0 to 8.
0 to 8.
Okay, that's our age.
Yes. That's when everything goes in as a pure truth. So if mom told me that this was called a banana, I would call it a banana until somebody in kindergarten would make fun of me. So as we build, likes, dislikes. Around 9, 10, 11, we start building what we call the critical mind. Critical mind acts as a filter. The older we get, the thicker it becomes. Now we question. Now, is it mom or Santa Claus? Is it dad or the tooth fairy? What's going on here? We want to know. And then around 11, 12, 13, we have our conscious mind that is logic, reasoning, analyzing abilities, decision-making abilities, a voice, and willpower. So to now it looks like a good plan, right? So this is the audience participation part. I would like you to just say things out loud as to what you're here for. What in your life would you like to kick up a couple of notches? Something that's a 2 that you know can become a 9. So let's title them desires. What are you here for? There you go. So abundance? Abundance. What else? Fun. What else? Financial freedom. Financial freedom. What else? Anybody want joy, or is it all mine? What else?
Spiritual growth.
There you go. What else? Good health. Very good. Spiritual growth, health, sleep, absolutely. What else? Aha. Living in the now. Yes, what else?
Fulfillment.
Very good. What else?
Freedom of fear.
So if you have freedom of fear, what do you have? There you go. Always in the positive. What else? Very good. What else? And there you go. I was waiting for it. Good. I was about to ask anybody, and somebody said it. Anything else?
Understanding or knowledge?
How about wisdom? Knowledge is the Encyclopedia Britannica. Wisdom is knowledge applied. Anything else? Very good. Anything else? We're running out of space, so last couple. Purpose. Very good. Anything else? Okay, we're good. That works. So, with all this now, because I tend to like shortcuts and loopholes only I can use, with all this, would it be fair to bundle them all together to say that you want a happy, healthy, abundant, loving, successful future? Fair? Okay. Healthy, happy, loving, abundant, successful future. See how easy that was? We'll come to that in a second, but this way is easy. So now, when you think about it, remember, you're all over 8.5. We've all thought about happy, healthy, loving, abundant, financially successful futures, right? You know why it hasn't happened? Because as amazing as your conscious mind is, it's a whopping 12% of your brain power. Whereas all of this is 88. So let me ask you this question. If you own a company with 100 employees and 12 are working and 88 are in the back smoking, will you make your deadline? That's what we're working with here. Every single thing you've wanted, 12 were like, yes! 88 were like, eh. So, here's another little kicker. We have everything that we have ever lived. So, remember how I said that you guys are not 8.5? So I'm kind of assuming you had a couple of more experiences since then. Maybe one of these, and maybe one of these. Fair? But you also had a couple of these. Remember this one? Everybody remembers that one. That's amazing. It's got a bad reputation. So, would it be fair to say that today we have more of this than just the nice little itty-bitty categories? And everything that you've lived through here, good, bad, evil, they're all considered knowns. Now, we have a premise that we avoid pain and seek pleasure. Only it's not what you're thinking. Because all of the knowns, what you've lived, including this one, knowns are pleasure. So if you have been fighting financial disaster, and you've been working 80-hour days to break through into a comfortable financial situation, but this is your known, and financial freedom and abundance is here that you haven't known, 12% is going maybe, 88 is going absolutely not a chance. Because unknowns are pain. So, I told you I'm not going to put you guys on the spot, but in my arm situation was 6 years of constant pain. Me being pain-free was as if they're sending me to Mars. Pain-free was here. 6 years of constant pain was here. What if self-identity is here? Self-identity is self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, self-acceptance, self-love. And yeah, that's it, yeah. So what if self-identity is there? What if every time you look in the mirror, you're like, oh my God. That happens regularly before I comb my hair. But anyway. So when it comes to, seriously here, self-identity, when it comes to financial disaster, when it comes to chronic pain, what if relationships are here? What if every time you think of a relationship, all you think about is the exes? Or how many people wronged you? What if love, maybe it's even self-love? Now I'm telling you all this because we're going to take it to the next level here. But I want you to start understanding what's going on here, because how we have been trained to think of us, experiences that have happened to us. What if self-worth is here? And then you'll hear people say it. Oh, I want the job. I want that promotion. But they're never going to give it to me. We've already shut it down. So when it comes to all this, here's why I do what I do. Because with hypnosis, I open a passageway and I add new ideas. Ah, there's the aha moment. See that? So then the next time you think it, after today, by the way, after today, how are we down here? I want a happy, healthy, loving, abundant, successful future, retiring before 50. Oh yeah, money's coming in, clients are there, deals are made, you're healthy, you're sleeping every night, you feel fantastic, love is here, you amaze yourself. And if the 12 works with the 88, you get 100% of your brain power to work for you. Sounds like a plan? That's why I do what I do. Because I'm not telling you at some point maybe. Now you know. So when it comes to, coming back to here, to the now, as in now with the story that you know, we can understand now. And why would you want to look back? First of all, you know why is done. Why did it happen to me? 10 surgeries. I looked like Jack the Ripper had a party. When I had this one done, now I actually joke about it, but when I had this one done, people would turn their back in a waiting line to stare at it. And I was like, it wasn't a suicide attempt. I mean, I wasn't that drunk. But people were like so blunt and blatant in, what the heck happened to her? I was sitting in a waiting room, and this lady who didn't realize I understood the language, in Arabic told her gentleman who was with her, I don't know if it was her husband or her dad, she said, look at how they slashed her arms. So sleeves are a norm with me, because I'd much rather you get to know me first, and then I'll let you know what the reality is. So today, there's only one purpose. I want you to look back into the past. Only one. Strength. Because if you know what the funny part is, I'm unstoppable. That didn't stop me, nothing will. And it's actually, Rose mentioned that I've authored 10 books. The last one that I've just published, it's called Invisible to Invincible. Because when you look back on your past, I've had a lot of clients tell me, oh man, Maureen, you have no idea what I've been through, and they go through this list, right? And all I'm seeing is this conquering warrior. Because here, yeah, do I have a couple of dings? You better believe it. but up here strong, and here strong. And if I go from here forward, knowing my strength, what can you achieve when you know your strength? What can you achieve when you realize? Now, each and every time you look in the past, and you have all these, I want you to take a new approach. Yes, they happened. We can't pretend they didn't happen. But there was a purpose. Now, we all know the saying, right? There was a purpose for you to go through it. There's a second part that nobody continues with. And the purpose is there to serve you. So in my world, I was in the Western world. I was in the Western medical field. I was an X-ray tech. I liked my job. I was good to go. I was ready to do that for the rest of my life. Only today, I can tell you, I was born to be a hypnotherapist. So if I didn't have that kapow, I would have never changed. Because I had to prove to me and to my mind that this field had limitations. With all due respect, by the way, if I twist my ankle this morning, I'm going to the ER for an X-ray and surgery and a cast. So I still use the Western medical system. However, my world, it's an and, not an or. It doesn't have to be Western or Eastern. It can be both, because both give you the results. So all that's left from this whole mess, this arm is straight. Oopsie daisy, there you go. See? This arm isn't. I can't go higher. It feels like I'm hitting the ceiling. I can live with that. Believe you me, I can live with that. So I can't lift desks anymore. There are worse things in life. Luckily, we have gentlemen in the room, and I always ask, they always say, yes, we're good. So when it comes to how this works, I want to be able to give you information for you to take in. I walked in, a lost cause. I will never look at people when I say this. I had countless physicians literally look at me and go like this. Yeah, no, you've had way too much work done. I'm not going to touch you. I've had doctors look at my arms and decide, without even examining me, no, this is who you're going to be. Just give up and live your life like this. And I'd get mad. I'd get upset. Because, first of all, nobody can tell me I'm hopeless. That's not ever going to happen. And two, they had no idea, because with all due respect, I cannot stress it enough, I respect them tremendously, but they were coming from a very finite place. Here, conscious is all they had. The hypnotherapist accessed my unconscious mind and got things to be seen in a different way. Because here, going into the future, as you look into the future now, I want you to have the awareness. I want you to have the audacity to think big. When we do the group hypnosis today, I'm going to ask you to see yourself, your you 2.0. I don't want you to make it 10% better. I want you to make it 1,000% better. I want you to go in with one question: what if? Not what if it doesn't work, but what if it works? When I went in for mine, I had literally lost everything. I had nothing else to lose. Now you guys aren't there. So how much more of a leap can you have if your launching pad is so much better than where I was? So when it comes to the future, in every aspect, can we say in our mind, this is who I used to be, but now I'm different? Because how many, I'm trying to find a nice, here we go. How many aspects of you, because I was different there and different here and different here. Are you the person you were 2 years ago?
No.
Or 6 months ago?
No.
Or 2 months ago? No, we are evolving. One of the beautiful things that, one of the quotes, you know, he has millions, but one of the quotes from Deepak Chopra that I love, very easy. The river you step into tonight will not be the river you stepped into this morning. Everything is consistently changing. We change ourselves every 3 months. This is not going to be alive in 3 months, because new cells are going to come in and take over. So if I physically change every single cell, one of 30 trillion cells in the body, every 3 months, can we change the future? And all we need to do, and I'm not joking, I do things, people ask me, how do you make it happen? And my honest response is, because I'm crazy enough to think it. You know the phrase, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. We set us up. I do this every night, and feel free to utilize it. Tonight, I'll think, okay, so today's Sunday. How was today? Today was fantastic. Tomorrow, oh, tomorrow's easy. I don't care what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow's easy. Tomorrow I wake up, how's today? Oh, today's great. I live today. Tonight I'll do the same thing. Again, every single night. How was today? Today was great. Stamp it, done. How's tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's easy. Not difficult or busy or overloaded or easy. Why do we hate Mondays and love Fridays? It's a word. If we had a cataclysm and we forgot which day it was, they'd all be the same. So I want you to start having these ideas here, okay? Now, when it comes to finances, by the way, I do not need to put dates or numbers. It doesn't matter what bracket you're in. So let me come over here for 2 seconds. We are raised in that. And this little pocket here is what we call your financial comfort zone. Now, whether that pocket is $20,000 a year from what your parents raised you with, or $2 million a year, it's your financial comfort zone. It's what your unconscious mind knows as money. Now, we live, all of us, like this, up and down. When we come down, oh my God, the bills are due, I don't have enough money to pay. Oh, work, 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 work. Oh man, I can breathe now. Okay, so now I have enough money, it's time to go to Vegas. Oh my God, I lost it all, come on. Right? Back up. So this is how we function. And you'll hear people say, you know, I'm always like this close. I'm always like this close to making all my bills. Almost like this close to make it to the point where I can relax. And then something happens. And then the car breaks down, or, you know, something goes wrong with the AC, or the water heater just blew up. Now, there are some who win those ridiculous amounts of money, like 600 million. Financial comfort zone. When something like that happens, then this is a statistic. From here, they win the lotto, they go, I don't know if that came out good on the mic, but sorry. So when they're up here, they're so far away from their comfort zone, they not only don't do this, they go like this. 85% of lotto winners go bankrupt in 5 years. So we're not talking coming down to where they knew. They lose everything. So, being that I don't want you guys to have this, how about if we did this? So if you guys are raised here, but from what mom and dad used to make to what today is acceptable, there's a little bit of a difference, right? So let's say you want to be here. Would that be fair? And let's say your goal, you want to be here. Would that be fair? Would it be acceptable? And I'm not joking. The wording I choose is intentional. Would it be acceptable for you to go from here, and after today to go up here, and then stay here until you're comfortable, and then, and I'm going to give you a reason why, and then as we go through, then and one day you come up here, and then you stay here. Would that be okay with you? Good. Now, I'm telling you this because I need you to have numbers already in your head. Because when we do the group hypnosis, I want you to have a number for where you are right now. So this is going to be your current. Then we're going to have a number which is going to be your first stepping stone. Then we're going to have your next number, which is going to be your second stepping stone. And I'm telling you why I'm calling them stepping stones, because I will never limit you. You want to make 30 million in an hour? Be my guest. There's enough, and I'm choosing these numbers on purpose. There's enough abundance in the universe to create it all for all of us. It's just our thinking, and our thinking comes back to here, which is why today I want to break through all your brick walls. I don't want you thinking, but I can't. I come from a dot that usually doesn't make it on a map. So you were born here. You guys are living in the land. This is the land of opportunity. So when it comes to current, now, today I want you to think of just big numbers, okay? Don't go, I want you to have this, but don't go up here. Because your mind, you understand comfort zones. So I want you to have what your current is in your mind, and then I want to take you to the stepping stone as if we're, for us to achieve a goal, it's got to be measurable. If somebody tells me, I need to lose weight and I need to lose 10 pounds, the only way they're going to know they're successful is if the weighing scales is 10 pounds less than what they started out, right? Measurable. So if you tell me I want more money, I can literally hand you a penny and voila, you have more money. But you need to give me specifics up here. It's all personal. So first stepping stone, so you know, by the way, that we're moving forward. It's being achieved. And then second stepping stone. So if you made this number, okay, if I make that number by a specific time, let's say by the end of 2018, then by the end of 2019, I want this one. Then as you're coming close to the end of the year and we're like a couple thousand away, you're like, it's happening, it's working. Now, would that be okay with you? So here's a secret. By the way, this is something nobody tells you, and I'm not joking, even for you guys. We are allergic to the word. We are petrified of that. We like same old, same old. We like, you know, getting acquainted. We like, what is it? Growing roots, right? Would you really want to be stuck here? No, you want that. So how are you going to do it? Your mind is open. Now you understand. And that's why I like the dry erase boards, because I can really build. On a PowerPoint, I can't go back and forth. So here, you know, if your financial situation is here, you want to change it. And you know what you're going to change it to. Only, have you experienced change? You haven't. Here's how change feels. You know, when you wake up Tuesday afternoon, you're a little bit off, but then Wednesday morning you wake up with a cold. And you know how you go, that's why I was off yesterday. You know the feeling? So you remember Tuesday afternoon, something's really not quite inside. You feel like something's off. Welcome to change. You will feel it. Inside, I call it like your skin doesn't fit. Everything will feel like you're wearing the wrong shoe on the wrong foot. It's very palpable. It's visceral. You will feel it. You'll feel like you're coming down with a cold. No, it's not a cold. It's a flu. No, it's not. No, I can't be pregnant. No, something's going off. And I want you, and I'm joking about it because I need you to be aware of it. Because here's a secret. If you think of a rubber band, and I pull, initially there's a lot of give, right? If I keep pulling, we have more resistance, right? We're going to come to the point where it's going to do one of two things. Either my finger is going to pop through the rubber band, or it's going to yank me back. The more uncomfortable you are, the closer to the breakthrough. Think of this. If I push, there's a lot of give, right? If I push more, is it getting tighter? If I push more to the point where I'm about to poke through, isn't that the hardest of resistance? The harder the resistance, the closer to the breakthrough. Don't give up when you're 2 breaths away from success. Keep that in mind. Change feels weird. I cannot stress it enough. Because we all want to, you know the saying, we all want to go to heaven, nobody wants to die. We all want change, we all want success, but we don't understand the process. So when it comes to how we go through it, I want you to be aware of it. Now, don't, and I'm giving you all these because your mind is the devil's advocate. Your mind is coming from here. This is what we do. This is what we've always done. You know, how many times have you heard, money doesn't grow on trees? What do you think you were, Rockefeller's kid? Right? Go save it. When you make your own money, you buy it. How many times? It's all back here, right? So I want you to be aware, because all I need you to do is just say, thank you so much, but I'm me today. I'm in charge of me today. When it comes to how you see your future, always speak in the positive. The mind doesn't get not, the word not, N-O-T, doesn't get it, doesn't hear it, just skips over it. So if you say, I don't ever want to be in this situation again, your mind goes, oh really, let's make it again, let's make it happen. I don't ever want to be in such a tight financial situation again, let's make it happen. I don't ever want to be in that kind of relationship again. Oh, here's another one. I don't want to be in this kind of pain. I don't want to be. Your unconscious mind hears, I do want to be. So you're stuck. Now, when it comes to this whole thing, say it like you want it. Be outrageous. You know how we find out how far we can go? By going there. There was this Russian Olympian years ago, before the steroid situation, where he couldn't break his own record of how much he could lift. You know that little, I don't know what it's called when they put it all the way up. So his coach lied to him. And he said, we adjusted the weights, and they're about 6 pounds lighter than the last one you did. And the guy went in and lifted it and broke his own record, because up here thought it was 6 pounds lighter. When I went to the college to become a hypnotherapist, there were instructors there who had been instructors for 20 years before I started. When I joined the faculty, oh, let me ask you this. Would you guys want to know what happened after all that, by the way? Because after the arms came back, and this is how I explain it, after the arms came back, that's when the race started. Because then it was like Maureen was back. And I graduated with top honors from that college. There's a rumor out there, don't you ever believe it. They say I'm an overachiever. Don't ever believe it. So I graduated with top honors. 3 weeks later, they hired me as a distance tutor. Then about 3 months into that, I became the director of admissions. And I was part of the faculty and a mentor, and I ran a full practice. That was fun. 4.5 years into that, I was offered to be a program director down here, and I got it. So I'm the only hypnotherapist who's been director and instructor in 2 colleges. I wrote the curriculum, taught 2 5-hour lectures a day, ran the department in the meantime, and did outreach programs, became the therapist here, and it's been outstanding of a journey for me. When it came to running 2 offices, San Diego and LA, that was a little bit of a juggle, because I was driving about 400 miles a week, and my friends would be like, why are you doing this? Guess why? Because I can. It was as simple as that. Because to me, if I could help 2 spheres of people, I'd much rather than 1. When it came to how I started producing the books and everything, at this point, when I joined the faculty in the first college, there were about 26 instructors, if I'm not mistaken. I've been doing this for almost 13 years. Next month it'll be 13. And with everything I've done, putting all of them together for all the combined years, they haven't matched me. You know why? Because I do it. I don't talk about it. I don't hope. I don't cross my fingers. I don't at some point maybe. At some point maybe it never happens. Tomorrow never happens. You know that, right? If I say I'm going to start it tomorrow, it's never starting. If I say I'm going to start it Monday at 10, then that happens. So start training your mind. Tomorrow at 10, we make it happen. At some point, maybe, yeah, who knows? So I want you to start owning things. In neurolinguistic programming, we have something called cause and effect. If you have 2 boats in a lake and one guy grabs the oar and smacks the water, the other guy's bopping. This guy caused the wave. This guy's bopping with the wave. When you hear people say, oh, it happened to me, oh, he did this to me, oh, she did this to me, we're in effect. Effect is powerless. When we own cause, we're empowered. Yes. Did he treat me wrong? Yes. How I respond to that is my control. I always joke about this. Many, many lifetimes ago, I was married at the time, and we woke up, and the TV had died. You know, the big old clunkers that size like half a house? So, TV died. Can't exactly change it, right? It's done. So, he goes into what I used to call Yosemite Sam mode. He would swear up his lungs. I mean, just a cloud of negativity. You know, this just swearing at the TV. By the way, the TV stayed dead. No, I can't believe it. 15 years. And I'm thinking, 15 years? That's a heck of a long time for a TV to work. In my mind, I'm instantly in the now, so I'm just, what's the benefit? So I think, oh, perfect time to get a flat screen. I'm done. It's worked 15 years. It's by the way, still dead. Doesn't matter how much he swore. And eventually, we got a flat screen. So the event can be whatever it is. How we respond to it is where our power comes in. Do people do bad things to me? Yes. How I respond to them is what I determine who I am. And I want you to have that, because you'll hear people say, well, this is me. This is me. They did me wrong, and I don't care. And you're not static. You know, there's a quote by Abraham Lincoln. You're not a tree. Move. So, so when it comes to these things, we're not stuck. Only because we're petrified of change, we feel stuck. In every aspect here. When it comes to health, now we know here. Now, how many of you, because I know, and I'm going to have to choose red just out of the message here. How many of you have cake? Well, initially it's here. Or, yeah, cake or chocolate. Oh, you hurt your knee. Here's a boo-boo here, right? Here's a piece of candy. Oh, you won the tournament. Here's pizza. Right? Oh, let's go out and party. We have to celebrate, right? So we end up having identification, association, response. We're not craving pizza. We're craving the emotional attachment. We're not craving sandwiches. We're craving that emotional memory that we had with so-and-so. So when it comes to health, I've had adults, I am not kidding you, look at me and go, because I help people lose weight, right, with hypnosis, and I'm going to tell you in a second how we do it. But they look at me and they go, I tried. I was in the grocery store. I mean, I was buying all the veggies right here. And I'm waiting for it, because they wouldn't start with I tried. And I go, yeah, and? And they go, well, they were kind of calling my name. I'm like, who was calling your name? Oh, these cute little cupcakes. I mean, they were so cute. And I'm like, okay. And I bought the whole pack. Okay. And I ate them all. Tiny little cupcakes. They were so cute. And she's giving me this whole description. And in my mind, I know she didn't crave the cupcakes. She craved the memory that came with the cupcakes. So when it comes to how this whole thing functions, it's choice. If you're missing somebody, own the fact that you're missing them. Have, you know, if they're still alive, call them. Don't send a text, call. But if they're already gone home, just talk to them heart to heart. Own it that you miss it. Own it that you miss them. But don't fall into that little trap, because then it's not fair to you, right? If you know you're pre-diabetic, if you know you have a cardiac situation, if you know you're overweight, if you know that, by the way, sugar intensifies inflammation, but every time you go past, there's this hand thing going. Don't you think that today we'll be able to make a difference? So your health can actually go up to an 8 or a 9? Any questions? Yes?
I have a quick question. On this side of the top line on our cast,
Uh-huh.
you have the red stars, like this happened. and
Yes.
that's why- Like, But what if we can't remember, like, I don't have, like, some big dramatic thing.
Okay.
Like, is it okay if we can't remember?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. The funny part is this. Your unconscious mind has everything.
Okay.
Everything. Now, self-identity, like I mentioned, self-acceptance, self-worth, self-confidence, which is can I do it? Self-esteem, which is do I deserve it? Self-respect and self-love. The second you look in a mirror, the second you think of you, all 6 are triggered. So whether you remember or not, your knowing already has it. So if you find that you're fighting life because, oh, I'm the guy who almost gets there. I'm the one who almost gets the promotion. I heard a person this week saying, literally stating, I'm the one who gets hurt the most in this company. Literally. He said it. And I walked up to him and I said, would you mind me giving you a point here? And he goes, yeah, sure. Of course, he has no idea what I'm about to say, right? So he's like, yeah, sure. I said, if you changed it to up until recently, I used to be the one, you'll stop that cycle. Now, up until recently, I used, and I always hyper delineate the D, done, past, history, gone. Up until recently, I used to not make enough money. Up until recently, I used to have a financial situation. Now I'm abundant. How are you today? The definition of disease is a conflict. We have how we feel, how we think, and how we speak. Those 3 have to be in alignment. If I feel something and it's uncensored, how I feel is uncensored, and then I feel it and connect with it and think it, and in my mind and the prefrontal cortices, it's like, oh no, don't ever say that. Then I have to again adapt to what I say verbally. 3 versions. That causes disease. So, today's the 6th, right? So in a week, it'll be 3 years from a horrible car crash. With a seatbelt, he rear-ended me so hard, I hit my head on the windshield. Impact was significant. So I walked around with a black eye this big for about 6 weeks. And it was hilarious because people's reactions. I called it a scarab. I had this big black thing right here. And people would ask me, I mean, you can't deny it. It was like I went against Muhammad Ali and lost. And how are you? What am I going to say? Fantastic? That would be a complete lie. So to be in alignment, I would say getting better. Because 0.001% is still better than nothing. How are you? Getting better. How is it? It's easing up. All true, acknowledging the disaster, but opening the door for future comfort. How we heal is up here. Yes?
So I'm sorry, that box with the known
Yes.
pleasure,
Yes.
unknown pain, I don't get that first part.
Okay.
Knowing
Yes.
pleasure.
All of these, good, bad, evil, ugly, you experienced, you lived, and you overcame because you're still here. They're pleasure, they're not pleasurable.
Oh.
The car crash isn't pleasurable. And it took me, by the way, I do use hypnosis. I have my own therapist because I'm not going to give you that this is tremendous if I don't walk my talk, right? So when I had the car crash, I did have sessions to reinstall that driving was safe. Because hypnotherapy now works in an amazing spectrum of aspects of life. You see, we have this little thing here. I had to look it up in the dictionary. I wasn't quite sure what it meant. It was this very unique word. Do you guys know what it means? Stress. Stress. There you go. I had to look it up. I wasn't quite sure. So stress aggravates 98% of diseases. Now, what is stress? Stress is that white blank piece of paper that the student is looking at, but it's titled an exam. That's stress. Stress is being aware that you're running late and you come up on the freeway and it's a parking lot. Stress is receiving divorce papers Giving them is relief, but stress is receiving them, right? I know, I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to put the horns back in. Stress could be a horrible diagnosis. Stress could be hearing bad news. Stress triggers. Now, we have the nervous system, and the nervous system has two sections. We have the central nervous system, which makes us do this. The brain, the spinal cord, the nerves all the way to move. And then we also have the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is beneath our awareness. When something attacks us and our heart starts pounding, we don't stop and tell our heart, yeah, now please raise your beat to 200 beats a minute, right? It just does. If we've overdrank, we don't tell our kidneys, start filtering faster. They just do, right? So here's why hypnotherapy works. Because if all of this is beneath your awareness, and all of this is beneath your awareness, and we can access and make changes, what can you achieve then? There you go. Say it again, please. Everything. There you go. That's why I like doing what I do. Because in my world, there is no limit. Because this, if my surgeons saw me today, they have no explanation why my arms are working. Because if I didn't tell you the story, you wouldn't realize that all that had happened, right? So if I could come back from that with 2 sessions, 10 surgeries, 6 years of my life with 25,000 pills, 2 sessions, do you think you guys will have success? Because that's why I do what I do. It's across the board, whether it's health. I have a testimonial that I can actually talk about because he posted it on. He actually added it to Psychology Today. I get a call. Maureen, my heart rate's 260 a minute. I'm in the emergency room, nothing's working. So I hypnotize him on the phone, get him to calm down, get him to go back to regular sinus rhythm. Now, all the alerts, the second his heart went down, stopped. So the second they all stopped, all the doctors went running in, right? What happened? What happened? And he's sitting there on the gurney and goes, okay, it's back to normal, thanks, talk to you later. So they're all asking, what the heck happened? So we brought it down from 260 to normal. I had a mentee of mine many years ago, December 22nd, call me, that she, actually her mother, she had bad news because her mother had just been diagnosed with a brain tumor. The tumor was the size of an orange. The lady was in her 70s. The second she was diagnosed, she was put in ICU. She needed 2 surgeries, one to take away all the circulation around the tumor, and the second one to take the tumor out. So the doctors were like, we'll give it our best shot, we don't know. So I went to the hospital, I did the hypnosis. There was a big Filipino family, the daughters were everywhere, and we had an arrangement that whenever her anxiety levels went up, they'd put the phone in the ear Bluetooth, and then I'd hypnotize her over the phone, calm everything down, and get her ready. She went through both surgeries. The doctors prepared them for the fact that she might walk with a walker in 6 months. She was climbing stairs with a cane in 3 weeks. This whole thing continued. About 8 years later, she developed symptoms again. So they went back to the doctor talking to the wife, the husband, and the entire family, looks at the patient and goes, I'm sorry, but it's come back. So this little old lady, now in her 80s, looks back at her daughter and goes, call Maureen. and the neurosurgeon goes, who's Maureen? So we do it again, only this time it was Skype, because they're up there, I'm here, and we do the sessions. Went through it again, twice. She went through beautifully and celebrated her 60th wedding anniversary. And to me, that just makes my heart sing. So when it comes to health, blood pressure is in the autonomic nervous system. Sleep. How many of you need a good night's sleep? Sleep. Very important. It's all here. So now the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to experience it? So how many of you have been hypnotized? Oh, yes, fresh meat. I mean, sorry, no clients. So how many of you have seen a stage hypnotist? Oh. Okay, so good news. I am not a stage hypnotist. No quacking or barking today. What I do want to offer you, though, is some parameters so you to know what to expect. So, you know, you've heard of the alpha, beta, theta, and delta brainwaves? So alpha is the coach talking to the football team in the locker room before the game. So alpha is, we're going to go, we're going to beat them, we're going to crush them, we're going to kill them, let's go. That's alpha. Pretty forceful, loud in your face. Beta is a very good day. Beta is when everything goes. You hit all the green lights, the deals are made, the money's deposited, the meetings are on time, you just fly and just smooth. Theta is what I call massage brain. You know, when after massage, they have the audacity to think you can conjugate a sentence? There was one time the therapist whispers, he goes, can you turn over? And I'm like, to where? Like massage brain just gone. Now, delta is sleep, as in snoring, out, cold, done. Switching systems are down. Sleep, for those of you who do subliminal, once you're in delta, subliminal doesn't work. You want to be in theta. That's where I'm going to take you today. Theta is very smooth. It's not anesthesia, so you're not going to lose control. You're not going to be unconscious. You're going to hear me. Some of you might drift off and lose my voice. Some of you might hear the whole thing. This is a do with, not a do to. So if I ask you to relax your muscles in your eyes, who's in charge of that? If I ask you to relax them to the point where they are so amazingly relaxed that they just don't want to open, who's in charge of that? If I ask you to think of yourself in the best way possible, who's in charge of that vision? Whether it's 20 pounds lighter, 60 pounds lighter, full of health, muscles just strong, whether abundant, whether maybe seeing a sunset on a yacht, whatever it is, who's in charge of that visual? So, when it comes to hypnotherapy, I always state that I open the door, but it's your decision to walk through. You're the final decision makers. I'm not going to cause you to do anything. Doesn't matter how nicely I ask, you won't go to Mission Fed and just get me an extra couple of million. It won't happen. So I want you to have the awareness of knowing this is for me, this is for my own good, and I want to participate. Because if you give 10%, you're going to get back 10%. If you give 100, then you're going to get 100. So how many of you are ready to play full out? Good. Good. Yes.
Can we have more than one thing in mind?
Of course. No. Go for it. Go the whole shebang. You can think of everything and anything you want. Now, the one thing I'm going to ask you guys is no crossing. So no crossing ankles, no crossing legs. It's an energy thing. It is not a posture class. So if you want to slouch, please feel free. I'm good with that. And I'm going to record this for posterity. That's one of the things I always do. So, do we have any questions? None of you will be losing control. None of you will be drifting off into La La Land. We'll all be here still in the same room. I want to do this on purpose so you'll have something to stare at. I know there's a lady who should be coming back any second, so I'm trying to stall. But if she doesn't show, we're going to start anyway. So, yes? Well, yes. So this scenario here is called heterohypnosis. I'm hypnotizing you. Self-hypnosis is when you hypnotize yourself. So the difference is, think of driving. If you're in the driver's seat, you have to pay attention to the rules, right? So you can only kind of glimpse at the scenery. But if you're in the passenger seat, forget the rules. I'm looking at the scenery. So when it comes to how we do self-hypnosis, yes, this will work. However, it's limited on what you can do because you're subjective. That's why I mentioned that when I had the car crash, I went to my own therapist. And what I would like to offer to all of you is think about how you can make your life better and take it, this being your first step. Fair? So I'm going to stay over here for a second because I don't want to be in anybody's view. Can you see the little squiggle? Perfect. Can you see the little squiggle, sir? And ma'am? Good. So, last question before we start anything. Do I have permission to work with you? Yes. Good. And you guys have the numbers, right? You have the first stepping stone? How much money you want to be making? Is it okay if I say by the end of 2018? Yes. And the second stepping stone by 2019? Yes. Okay. So, think big, guys. Think big. So, I'd like you now to find a spot and focus on it. And as you focus on it, I want you to take 3 slow, deep breaths. 1 for the body, 1 for the mind, and 1 for the emotions. And as your breathing becomes deep and rhythmic, you notice how your eyes continue to blink. With every blink, they blink twice as fast. With every blink, they become 10 times as heavy. This is easy. You notice it. You notice how your muscles are relaxed, seated comfortably, and your eyes continue to blink. With every blink, the muscles in the eyelids start to release and unwind, and the eyelids start getting heavier and heavier, more and more relaxed, to the point where the thought of allowing them to close and stay closed becomes a welcomed idea. Internally, just repeat this to yourself. I give myself permission to relax. I give myself permission because this is for my own good. I know what I want, and this is the pathway to it. As your eyes continue to blink, with every blink they become so heavy, so tired. It's almost as if there's weights on the eyelashes. This feeling continues now. And the harder you try to keep them open, the heavier the eyelids get. And the heavier they get, the faster they're going to want to just simply close and stay closed. Now, as soon as you allow your eyes to close and stay closed, just switch your focus to the sound of my voice. As you listen, calmness flows. And just think to yourself, I want success. I want to have this life that I've been dreaming of. So I will allow this process to become mine. I allow my eyelids to relax to the point where they are so incredibly relaxed and heavy that they just feel as if they're sealed shut. This is because I want it and I can. So I allow my eyes to close now, allowing yourself the time to just be in the now, allowing yourself the time to be calm at ease, where the eyelids simply close and stay closed, and with every sound you relax them 10 times as much. And as you focus only on the sound of my voice, from the eyebrows to the cheekbones, the muscles in the eyelids release more than ever before. The fibers in the muscles of the eyelids unwind more than ever before, and the cells and the fibers of the muscles of the eyelids let go more than ever before. And it comes to the point where you feel so relaxed and your eyelids feel so unwound that they feel as if they're sealed shut. And with eyelids that feel as if they're sealed shut, allow your eyeballs to roll up as if you're looking through the top of your skull, drifting off into a deep sleep, remembering that each and every time I suggest deep sleep to you for the purpose of hypnosis, with your permission, allow yourself to enter quickly, calmly, and deeply to this depth or even deeper. As you listen to my voice now, here in this in-between space, here I want you to remember that today we start the rest of your life. Today we start a chapter full of abundance, fun, financial freedom, joy, health, spiritual growth, sleep, living in the now, fulfillment, peace, fitness, love, wisdom, security, and purpose. Today we start and continue this chapter. Today and every day following today, you're going to be a magnet for all of this. Because you know, not only do you want it, you know you deserve it. Here, every word you hear takes you 27 times as deep as the one before it. Every sound you hear, every thought you have, every sensation you feel, and every breath you inhale, all take you 27 times as deep as the one before it. As you listen to my voice now, allow your eyes to roll up. And above you, I'd like you to visualize a beautiful cloud. A cloud full of energies, a cloud full of colors. A cloud out of which mother of pearl white energy comes out. Initially, you think of it as white. However, then you start seeing that it shimmers every color, every shade, every hue. As this energy flows, it's going to strengthen all your attributes. It's going to refill all your reservoirs. And it's also going to relax each and every cell. And as the energy flows, you will receive all the colors with all the strengths, with all the blessings. So the energy flows through the top of the skull, into the head, brain, and face, flowing, soothing, calming each and every cell. The energy continues flowing through the throat and neck, spreading out to the shoulders, and all the way down to the shoulder blades. As the energy flows, any obstacles in the throat are instantaneously removed. So now not only can you speak up, now yes, you get to speak your truth. Yes, you speak up for you, and yes, you now share your voice. The energies now continue flowing from the shoulders, through the arms, into the hands, all the way down to the fingertips. And as the energies flow, muscles release, unwind, relax, let go completely. This feels good. This beautiful feeling continues now. And the energies flow from the shoulders into the chest and upper back, swirling in the chest, wrapping itself around your heart many, 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 many times. And as the energies now start seeping into both the physiological and the emotional hearts, a lot of healing and caring occurs. This feeling continues now, and it flows down into the stomach and lower back. And as wave after wave flows through, all the muscles and tissues and fibers and cells release, relax, unwind, let go completely. These energies now sink deep into the pelvis, where they intensify and overflow into the hips and thighs, knees, shins, and calves, flowing all the way down into the ankles, heels, feet, and toes. And as it flows, muscles release, unwind, relax, let go completely. These energies are going to be pouring into you for the duration of my speaking with you. As you listen to my voice now, allow your awareness to connect with how safe it feels for you to be this relaxed, this peaceful, and this calm. And as we go down from 10 to 0, with every number, we're going to lock this in 10 times. So from 10, going deeper to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Deep sleep. And I want you to take a moment now. And I want you to picture, visualize, and imagine that you're walking into a beautiful living room. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's spacious and airy and bright. But in the middle of this living room, there's a full-length vertical mirror. Really out of place. So I want you to walk up to it. And I want you to stare into that mirror. And I want you to take a long, hard look. Because you're the only one who knows the 100% truth now. Think about it. You're the only one who knows 100% of the disappointments and the joys, the letdowns and the accomplishments. So in the next few moments, I'm going to ask you to repeat the questions I ask. Repeating them mentally and silently here, but verbally there. And as soon as your reflection nods there, I want you to nod here so I can see you. So now, just silently ask it. Would it be okay if we were successful? And as soon as it nods, I want you to nod here so I know it's nodded. Would it be okay if we had a better today? Would it be okay if we felt better every day? That's right. Would it be okay if we let the past stay in the past? That's right. Would it be okay if we learned from all those experiences and grew from them? That's right. Would it be okay if we let all those limitations drop now? Would it be okay if we made that amount of money that we have for our first stepping stone by the end of 2018? That's right. Would it be okay if we made that as a minimum? That's right. Would it be okay as we think of the second number, the second stepping stone, would it be okay if we made that amount of money by the end of 2019? Would it be okay if we made that as a minimum, meaning we could make more in 2019? That's right. Would it be okay if all these upgrades that we're planning on were really much easier to implement than we think? That's right. Would it be okay if these upgrades became our permanent new norms? That's right. Would it be okay if we chose to be healthier? Would it be okay if we chose because we loved ourselves a little bit more? That's right. Would it be okay if we loved ourselves a lot more? That's right. Would it be okay if we allowed us to succeed beyond our wildest dreams? That's right. Would it be okay if we just became a magnet for clients, joy, and abundance? That's right. Would it be okay if we enjoyed financial freedom, health, fulfillment, fitness, wisdom, security, and purpose? That's right. Would it be okay if we gifted ourselves peace of mind because all this became our life? That's right. Now take a moment and look in the mirror. Look at the you 2.0. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. 2.0. Improved, upgraded. See yourself. Now as you see the new version of you, I want you to allow these sentences. I like that. I want that. I am that. Now you're going to start by gifting yourself a great night's sleep. You see, from today and every day following today, when it is time for you to sleep, regardless of the city, the county, the province, the state, the country, the continent, the time zone, when it's your time to sleep, regardless of the day you've had, the people you've worked with, what's going to happen tomorrow, regardless of it all, when it's your time to sleep, you will. You'll sleep quickly, soundly, deeply. You'll sleep for all the hours you plan on sleeping. As you sleep, you will rest. As you rest, you will dream. And the dreams beneath your awareness, you'll discard, delete, and annihilate everything negative from the past, instantly replacing it with the fact that today we start fresh. Today, now, we know what we want in our future. And today, now, we get it. And then you wake up feeling rested and refreshed. So from 5, going down now, deeper to 4, releasing, deeper to 3, unwinding, deeper to 2, relaxing, deeper to 1, letting go, and all the way down to 0, deep sleep. In the next few moments, I'm going to wake you up. At 5, you're going to be completely wide awake, fully alert, ready to continue having an amazing day, remembering that opening your eyes, standing up, walking out of the room, and continuing on with your day just makes you feel better with every waking moment, knowing that you're fully wide awake, fully alert, ready to continue thriving and enjoying. So coming up to 1, closing the door to the unconscious mind, making sure that all the suggestions are locked in and effective from now till the end of time. Coming up to 2, aware of your body and of the room around you. Coming up to 3, connecting with the here and now, knowing that not only can you do this, this is yours right now. Coming up to 4, your eyelids are getting lighter. And at 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open and wide awake. How you guys doing? Different? Check inside. How are you inside? So, take a note. How you feel? There you go. This was generic. This was generic. I'm here. I always joke about the fact that I'm everywhere. Because I do in-person sessions, I do individual and group. I do Zoom and Facebook Messenger, audio, video. I do phone, FaceTime, whatever, wherever you guys are, we can connect. The only secret is I need to know how many hours ahead of San Diego you are. That's it. Otherwise, I am here to be able to assist you. For you guys, sorry, but for you guys here, I do work from the Chopra Center, as you can imagine, and to make appointments, just talk to the ladies at the front. I am here to answer any questions you might have. But from my end, thank you so much for being here. I wish you the best of futures. And in my world, let's make it happen. So, thank you. So, we're good? We're good. All right. So, any questions you have? I have flyers in the back if you have